Do you think European sport is leaving room on the table in terms of innovating on the fan experience side of things? Do you think there's like some low-hanging fruit that they should be looking into?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think we would agree on this topic wholeheartedly that yes, I mean the opportunity is massive, and there is we are at the beginning of the product life cycle. I believe that there are opportunities to make very advanced progress quickly. And part of it starts with recognizing the opportunity. Some people frame it as, the number of times I've heard that sponsorship's dead and broadcast revenues are going to come off a cliff, and, the sensationalism around that. Why not frame it as, no, audiences are changing, and that's a huge opportunity. And it's incremental. And maybe some of it will cannibalize your traditional business, but maybe it won't. And it's definitely an opportunity. Fans are spending the most of their time consuming digitally, whether it's sports content or other content, and brands are investing increasingly in digital channels. So this, if that is a very small part of your overall mix, both in terms of your proposition as well as your income stream, then wow, that's an exciting opportunity. And I don't think anyone disagrees with it. But we're at the beginning of that journey.
So then the two things that came to mind, I mean, obviously innovating on the fan experience side, you talked about rugby. There was a big issue with, I think if I wasn't wrong, ITV putting picture-in-picture ads on a rugby match recently.
For the Six Nations.
For the Six Nations, there was a huge hue and cry. And for me, it's so natural because I've been seeing picture-in-picture ads forever. I actually don't remember what it was like before picture-in-picture ads existed. On the other side, FIFA is introducing a water break, which is clearly a commercialization of sport.
Yes.
But I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on that. This is resistant to change, like the fact that...
it's about the culture again, isn't it? I mean, the Six Nations is an incredible tournament, and it holds huge importance to European rugby fans. And indeed, it's a global event. And, people, going back to hardcore fans, they don't like change. So, that again goes back to this.
But the sport needs that. I mean, I don't know if these people appreciate that. Like, where it's struggling. The economics aren't as good as they should be. There are multiple rugby clubs that have declared bankruptcy. What's the harm in having an ad that actually helps the media rights holder or the properties make more money? Which will be good for the sustainability of the sport in the long term.
Well, I mean, I think it's like the advertising proposition as a whole is about interrupting your experience, isn't it? I mean, that is if you look at the difference between sponsorship, which is organic, it's part of the experience. The more additive, the better from a brand's point of view. Whereas, an advert interrupts your experience in order to bring you a message, and they're different properties and often used very well in tandem. So. I guess the visceral reaction is, this is interrupting my pure, beautiful product. But obviously the economics always come to play, and sports organizations, broadcasters need to drive revenue. And actually, I thought that was a very beautifully done.
Tastefully done,
Yeah, and didn't in any way detract from my personal experience. But then, I have also the lens of trying to understand the commercials behind it. So perhaps I'm not the average fan in that sense.
But then actually to that point, I mean, digital, we obviously talk about digital and we think about digital as like mobile web, an app, but connected devices are a big part of it. Now, these ads actually can be personalized, can be emotion-based. I mean, to your point before about connecting those moments and fan engagement, fan reactions to brands, there is an opportunity where some of those ads can be not just a generic message being broadcasted to the entire audience. It can be tailored to the moment. It can be tailored.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's this is, I think, the big sort of existential question around the relationship with brands, because on the one hand, you've got a very traditional sponsorship model, global sponsorship revenues are not growing. More and more, they're going to the top, to the top tier rights holders. The budgets are moving further in that direction, which obviously is creating a challenge below that. But on the other side, you've got advertising where brands are buying audiences and are less bothered, often less bothered about what content is associated with those audiences. They're buying the audience. And actually, there's something in between those things, a hybrid. You know, if you think about the sort of hallmarks of sponsorship, it's that organic, additive, the opportunity for a brand to be part of an experience when the audience is at their most passionate. That is an unbelievable proposition.
Yeah.
And it should be growing very quickly. But the challenges, the barriers to it are the fact that there is no attribution. It was more difficult to find attribution. It's very difficult to compare that attribution with other forms of brand spend. So I think that there is a hybrid model combining ultimately content assets with advertising assets to maximize a return, which should be a super premium proposition. So it sort of benefits from all the sort of really important premium elements of sponsorship, which are sort of, piggybacking on the trust that exists between the sport, the player and the audience, with the attribution model of advertising. And, whether you're trying to branded content as an awareness play and then overlaid with either interactions with the audience using live-like or adverts, pure play adverts, which are designed to supplement your content interaction strategy.
Brand marketing versus performance marketing per se.
But these things are going to come together. And this sort of new world of sponsorship, in my view, will grow exponentially because, it's a hell of a proposition.